3 games in a row, Dak Prescott has been underwhelming to say the least, right? It's not great. I mean, he had a bunch of stats in garbage time against the Green Bay Packers, fair enough. But I'm not able to defend him anymore in good conscience. I can't. I just cannot. I can't watch what I'm seeing every Sunday now and go, oh yeah, Dak should get paid, or I believe in. I'm not. The Cowboys are 3-3. They've lost 3 games in a row. They lost to the Saints, which is fine. They have a good defense, fair enough. And Dak did not do enough in that game. And I thought, okay, well maybe it's a really good defense. Whatever, fine. And then this past week against the Jets, they lost to the Saints, the Packers, and then the Jets embarrassed the Cowboys. At one point, they were down, I think, 21-6. It's like, it's awful. And, it's just not good enough. What we're seeing from Dak Prescott is not enough. This past week against the Jets, he was 28 for 40 passing. That's a 70% completion percentage. Fair enough. He had some good plays. He had 277 yards. And, yards now do not impress me at all the way they used to. Yards are just garbage time. It means when the team's playing a prevent defense, you're throwing the ball underneath and stealing a bunch of yards. I'm not impressed by yards at all. And honestly, 277 in today's NFL is not that good. And the honest truth about Dak Prescott is he's just not been playing good enough. By the way, the 3 teams that made him look really good, the Giants defense, the Redskins defense, and the Dolphins defense. They're combined 3-14. They have 3 wins and 14 losses, those 3 teams combined. Those are the 3 teams that Dak Prescott looked really good against in the first 3 weeks. And it pains me to say this. I like Dak Prescott. He's a grown-up. He makes some good throws. I feel good about him. I think he's a good leader. And he's been really close in the last 3 weeks, but he's just not been quite there. Not been quite good enough. And, I'm going to make it a comparison. One of my favorite video game franchises is a franchise called Zelda. Legends of Zelda. My personal favorite game is Ocarina of Time from the Nintendo 64. And I love Zelda. It always nails every single game, just nails all the things I love. Puzzles, you get to explore, you get to fight enemies. It's exactly what I like. And then there's this other franchise called Darksiders. And people call Darksiders a Zelda clone because they took the formula and recipe that makes Zelda work and tried to copy it and do their own thing. And, they do a ton of the same. It's just really like, you play Darksiders, you go, this feels like Zelda. And there's a lot to like in Darksiders. I enjoy it. But, Darksiders is not quite Zelda. It's fun, I like it, has good moments, but it doesn't have the same amount of polish. It's not quite good enough. The music's not as good. I don't care about the character. The world isn't really pretty or charming. The point was not to go on a rant about Darksiders and Zelda. It's an analogy where Dak Prescott is Darksiders. Dak Prescott is not that great polished product that other quarterbacks are. I would compare Russell Wilson to Zelda. Zelda in this situation is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's fantastic. And I think it's actually a good analogy because they have similar things. They run the ball well. They both run the ball well, but, Russell runs the ball better. Dak Prescott throws the ball well, but Russell Wilson throws the ball better. They're both good leaders. They both, they're both very impressive figures and the way they talk in interviews and stuff. It's really good. There are some similarities between Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson is the superior product. Russell Wilson is elite. Russell Wilson makes $35 million a year. That's his average salary if you look it up on Spotrac.com. Spotrac? I don't know how you say it. However you say it. And there's just an obvious gap. There's an obvious gap between Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. If you made me pick one, Darksiders or Zelda, I would pay far more money to buy Zelda than I would for Darksiders because it's not as valuable to me. It's not as good. It's not as polished. It's not the elite product I want. I would not pay as much for Dak Prescott as I would Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson makes $35 million a year. Dak Prescott says he wants 34. I'm not paying Dak Prescott $34 million right now. I know I've made arguments in the past. I was wrong. I can own that. I thought Dak was going to be better this year. I thought he was going to make a step forward. And I thought he did the first couple of weeks. And you look at who he's played and you go, okay, in retrospect, through 6 weeks, Dak has shown us what he is. He's a solid quarterback. I'd pay him $18 or $20 million a year. He's good. He's not elite. his ceiling is not as high. He's just not Russell Wilson. He's not one of the best. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's the next tier down, and he's not good enough. There are things I like about Dak Prescott, but I would not pay Dak Prescott as much as Russell Wilson. And there were a couple of very, very telling plays for the Dallas Cowboys against the Jets on Sunday. There was one play where the Cowboys were in the red zone. It's 4th and 2, and a lot of people blame this play. It's the Cowboys went for a 4th and 2 against the Jets, and they didn't get it. And everyone's very mad. They're like, Jason Garrett is awful. They shouldn't have gone for it, this and that. And I actually liked the decision to go for it. What I didn't like was the play call. The Cowboys ran a designed quarterback run on 4th and 2 in the red zone. And it tells me, okay, are you not confident in Dak Prescott? Are you not confident in his ability to throw the ball? The Cowboys got man coverage across the board. What that means is they had good matchups. They had to pick one and throw the ball. And in that big moment on a 4th and 2, instead of throwing the ball with our quarterback, the Cowboys decided to run. That's weird and a little bit telling. And then what's even more interesting is on the final real important play of the game. It's a 2-point conversion. The Cowboys were down 24-22. They need to get this 2-point conversion to tie the game with basically no time left. The Jets make a great call. They go cover 0 across the board. They bring blitzers at Dak Prescott. They say, we're going to blitz you, make a great pass against man coverage, and Dak Prescott could not do it. He missed a throw against you. Blame whoever you want. You can blame a call. People are all mad about this call. And when I watch that play, I go, Dak Prescott missed. Dak Prescott threw the ball to the wrong shoulder. That's why it was incomplete. He's got to be better. He's got to be better. And, again, I like Dak Prescott. He's a good quarterback. But Dak Prescott is not an elite quarterback. He's not that top tier with Russell Wilson and guys who you would pay $35 million, $34 million a year. Dak Prescott has proven he's not that. Pains me to say, I like Dak, but he's not elite. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to be very clear and open with the audience. My YouTube channel is monetized. What that means is that some of my videos make ad revenue. It's fewer than you think. A lot of them get claimed. But in the past, I've received donations from people on Patreon and PayPal. PayPal.me/Zach Schaumler. Patreon.com/Zach Schaumler. And because I'm making ad revenue, it felt kind of weird just receiving donations. I wanted to give something back for the donations. And so people who support me on Patreon can give me $1 a month, and that allows them access to a pool where they can ask questions. If you send me questions through Patreon's DM service, you comment on one of my posts on Patreon. If you give $1 a month, you can submit questions. And with my eyeballs, I look at every single question submitted. Then at the end of my podcast, I pick the best top couple questions and read them on the show and answer them in a segment I call Ask Zach. Now, that's for people who have money and want to support me that way. If you have no money to give, no problem. I totally understand. I grew up in a mobile home. I've been a broke college kid. I totally get it. But if you want to help in some capacity at the end, you can support the show by telling your friends about it. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about this show. It would mean a lot to me. If you believe in my dream and you believe in this show, tell your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Guys, my name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so very much, and hope you have a great day.